First, it was Emmanuel Macron talking to Davos in Switzerland, and then, of course, Donald Trump, who has delivered his speech at Davos just yesterday evening. I want to start with Norman Floyd Barnes. How do you think Donald Trump's voice was recorded or not received at the Davos summit? I want an analysis from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Greetings. Good morning from Washington. The President Trump made his speech in Davos yesterday regarding his view of the world and, most importantly, the issues dealing with Greenland. Uh, it was received, well, it's hard for me to say right now, but basically, he made a speech regarding the importance of having Greenland part of the United States. And by the end of the day, that position changed, stating that there was an agreement with the Arctic region about the security of the area. Uh, Comments from the different countries have been varied. Uh, there's no official word exactly. This is a factual event. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what's going on. The president said everything is fine, everything is moving forward. There's a treaty agreement coming up, and the European allies are stating they haven't heard anything and they don't understand what's going on. So, my assessment is that there is a conversation going on, and it appears that there will be some type of compromise. The president has eliminated the tariffs for these countries as a
Accurate.
result of the meetings that he had yesterday. And it appears to me that it will possibly be looking at a situation where there will be a combined military presence in Greenland, consisting of the NATO countries and the United States, meaning the United States will have additional bases there, permanent bases there, and they will either buy or purchase the base areas, the land, and Greenland will stay a sovereign country uh, amongst the people, but the military part will be basically the U.S. will have a large amount of bases there in that region versus taking over the entire country.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and, of course, US President Donald Trump had a very decisive meeting in the sidelines of the Davos summit. What is the timeline? Do you think that there is going to be heated exchanges, except for the fact that the Danish PM says this is unacceptable and they will not negotiate their sovereignty? Norman Floyd Barnes.
Uh, Thank you for the question. It appears that there will be a compromise made based on the meetings in Davos and the pressure of the European Union and other parts of the world. Uh, President Trump is a business person, and his main objective is to get a deal that will work for him. There's an issue with national security. He stated yesterday very completely that he feels that the United States is in the best position to protect that region. Russia has not responded, and basically Putin's basically stated that that's not up there. That area is not what they're doing between NATO and the United States is not of his interest. But he is increasing the Northern Fleet with the anticipation of some type of action. So my assessment is basically that there will be some type of compromise made. There will be a presence in the area, either the U.S. and NATO, or NATO will basically remain in its current situation, but the U.S. will have a increase and enhanced presence in the area as a result of this. And there will be some financial incentives made towards Greenland and Denmark regarding this. So basically, the deal maker is making a deal.
Of course, what a great way to finish the fact that the deal maker is making a deal. That is important. But there is other news that's stemming out of Donald Trump's speech from yesterday. I want another question back to Norman Floyd Barnes. He said that he has a plan to soon announce a new chairman of the Federal Reserve as he continued to criticize the current chair, Jerome Powell. He said that Jerome Powell is very terrible and he is too late. He's always too late, and he's very late with interest rates, except before the election. Of course, I want to understand if you had any commentary or if you had any analysis between Jerome Powell and, of course, Donald J. Trump, and he was referring to him of being too slow. So, of course, this is important because he's the federal chair. What kind of comments are these? I want to understand from Norman before I come back into the studio.
These comments are typical of President Donald Trump. This is what he do. He get away with it. He will lash out to anyone who doesn't jump and move in the direction he want. The president wants the interest rates to drop. The federal chairman believes that the interest rates should come in a systematic way, slower than what the president wants to happen. So because of this resistance and what he calls slowness, the president doesn't feel like this person is adequate for the job, and he's moving to replace him, either kick him out of the position, or replace him, or find some charges to bring against him. But he want this person removed. So he wants to put someone in there who will basically perform like a yes man. I want you to jump. You jump high, and it appears that his whole cabinet, his whole administration, is full up of people who will basically adhere to what he wants and how he wants this done. So he wants to complete this whole package by having a chairman that will basically move and groove at the pace that he wants and will not give resistance. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at someone to come in and basically do exactly what the president wants when the president wants it.
The World Health Organization chief, Tedros Adhanom, is among many who have urged to the United States to reconsider the decision, given the fact this is ongoing. And of course, the U.S. law requires that Washington to pay the U.S. Health Agency almost $260 million in fees it owes. I want to understand from Norman Floyd Barnes, 6 years after the novel coronavirus has gone, the U.S. is stepping out of the World Health Organization. What are the implications? Of course, the U.S. citizens are going to face a very damned time. The big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump passed, and of course, how it changes the medical insurance for people in the United States. All of this combined, I want your take on the matter.
Thank you for the question. I'm not confirmed exactly if the United States is pulling out, or if so, when. But right now, I can tell you that the United States average person is very challenged right now regarding health care. We have not come to a conclusion on universal health for the United States yet. The current health plan is up in the air, has been extended until we can put together another plan. But right now, I can tell you from personal experience, the cost of medications and healthcare has increased almost 200%. I can give you a good example. I had a prescription the other day that I paid a year ago $7 US for. I went in to purchase again a refill. It was $207. So that is what we're looking at. These prices going up, the tariffs impact on pharmaceutical medications, and basically the overall cost of living is affecting the average person to the point where they have to make real decisions. Do I eat, or do I get my medication, or do I sleep in my house another day, or do I have to make other sacrifices? So right now is a very troubling time for the people of the United States, as the United States government decides on exactly what path and what programs are going to be available for the people coming up.
As Mr. Alvi Ahmed was saying, that we need to look forward to a different leader in the upcoming term. I know that a midterm election is scheduled for November this year. We also know there is an immigrant mayor-elect, Zoran Mamdani, leading New York, who do not see eye to eye on the main vast issues with Donald Trump. I want to have a last closing statement, and of course, I have a gut feeling Marco Rubio, if not J.D. Vance, is the next contender. But I want to understand how Norman Floyd Barnes felt about this as his closing statements are here. Norman Floyd Barnes.
Uh, Thank you for the opportunity. Right now, the world is in a change mode. It's transitioning from the traditional way to a new world order. The United States, just like other countries, are basically trying to stay ahead of the game. Uh, yes, we have a transitional government, a transitional administration. President Trump will leave the office when his term is up shortly. But that does not change the world order. The world order is still changing, regardless of who will be in the office. Remember, he's just a person leaving the office. He's not an empire, he's not a kingdom. The process has been moving forward, and this process is beyond Donald Trump's or J.D. Vance's or Rubio or whoever. The motion has already been set. Things are changing. Countries are now discovering that they have to take care of their own, not depending on a superpower or a world leader. There's no much what we call world leaders. There will be leaders that will oversee their regions and their sections, but take in mind, you have to take care of your own country. If not, that word sovereignty, sovereign country no longer exists. It will no longer exist. It's already been broken. And if you can't protect yourself, you will become part of someone else's property. So the fact is that we have to be able to adjust, shifting, and be flexible in terms of how we do things, and establish. Each
Right.
country has to establish their own relationships with
Right.
trade and commerce.